Um, Hello, everybody, and welcome to those that are here live in the Zoom room, to those that are watching the replay of what is going to be the first in maybe a series of Ditch the Diet workshops. These are going to be taking things to a bit of a different level than what we've maybe done before. And today we are talking about portion control without willpower. Or at least that's what I've told you. That's what we're doing anyway. Where you know me, you know whenever I do things, there's always a side quest somewhere along the way, isn't there? So for those that don't know me, my name is Sean McGeough. I am an award-winning clinical hypnotherapist, multiple best-selling author, and I am a hypnotic gastric band expert. Ditch the Diet was the first ever weight loss hypnotic program that I ever designed. Um, and it is sort of the umbrella of a lot of the work that you're going to see me do this year. So the purpose of these workshops are to help you to understand the different aspects, to help you to ditch the diet mentality, because there's so many hypnotherapists out there, and I'm not bashing anybody at all, but you know it's just a lot. I didn't even make it 5 minutes. Sure, I didn't. Shirt's coming off. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry, but I just can't. I've been sitting like this all day with my one-to-one clients. Um, there's many hypnotherapists out there that I've seen that it just looks like a real like revolving door. You know, it's the £100 a session, same thing for everybody, and that's it, in, out, in, out, in, out. And as someone that was like fat myself not that long ago, well, a couple of years ago now, you know, for a couple of years also, I understand the problem. I understand the mindset. I understand, perhaps a little bit more uniquely than some other people out there that, you know, it's not just a let's say this one wee script where you're going to stop eating rabbit or stop eating junk food and start eating rabbit food and that's you done. It does not work that way. Weight is probably one of the most multifaceted areas that I have embarked in. Probably more so than addictions, to be totally honest with you, or at least they're on par with each other, because it is such a multifaceted thing. And what we're looking at today is we are looking at portion control without willpower. Okay? And you'll understand a little bit more because willpower is something people don't really get. This is who I am. Look at that handsome devil right there. Very different from the big sweaty mess sitting in front of you right now. But again, you are my clients, you know me. So let's just get on with it. The fact I'm sitting here in a vest top will not hinder my work in any way, shape, or form. Um, so this is the type of results that I get my clients because I don't take a cookie cutter approach. I do not do one size fits all. That is not me. So this is a client that I worked with very recently, that again, and I'm talking this year recently. Just a quick update since our final session. I way exceeded my expectations. I went into this with my eyes opened, and I am over the moon with the 4 week results. I am down 2 notches on my belt. I have lost 1 stone 5 pound. Now that is slightly uncommon, I will be honest. That is a wee bit more. It does happen, but it's not a very common result. Since the 5th of January, and this is only like last week. So with your help, daily exercise, I mean, he walked 10,000 steps every day. That's it. Done. And lots of water. I'm now halfway towards my overall goal, and I cannot recommend you enough. You know, there's one thing that I do. Here's some of my clients before and after photos in a matter of weeks. Now, I'm saying weeks more than months. We're probably talking, you know, the 2 to 3 month mark. the 8 to 12 weeks. And there are remarkable transformations that happen with people because I don't do just the one thing. I work on multiple different things. You've probably seen my hypnotic gastric program. That's something formulated that's put together to help my clients get results. You've probably seen me post about working with private treatment. This is where we dive even deeper into what the hypnotic gastric band does. I work with a lot of different issues as well, but you know, this is where we can get deep into it, and that's why I firmly believe the results that I get, the work that I put together, it's because I understand, I've been there, I know the struggles, and not only that, I study my craft every single goddamn day to make sure that I can bring the best to you. Now, this isn't going to be two hours of me sitting here saying how brilliant I am. You already know that about me. This is me saying this is why I care so much and this is why I do what I do. This is why I study every day. It's not because I'm brilliant. In fact, the amount of people that, in my opinion, overestimate my intelligence, it's quite shocking to me. I don't think I'm anything special at all, and that's also another reason as to why I work so goddamn hard. Because I don't believe that I'm, super intelligent, smart, brainy, all of that. And that's why I work so hard on doing what it is that I do. If you put me in a row full of people, you would not pick me out to be the therapist. Let's put it that way. Not that we judge books by covers, but, I sort of definitely do not fit that little mold that society has. And again, that's another reason as to why I believe that I get the results that I do. Because I don't fit the mold that society thinks a therapist should look like. I like to do my own thing. I obviously with morals and ethics, and I don't believe that there's just one way to do things. It's another client of mine here that she has. If you've been on part of my online programs or groups or master classes, you probably know who this is. Remarkable results. Came back about a year or so later just for another wee fine tuning, and that's totally perfect as well. So let's understand willpower, what it is and what it isn't, because most people do not understand willpower. And what the willpower actually is, in the most simplest of terms, is our willpower is a higher mental faculty. We have multiple higher mental faculties, and willpower is one of those. And the willpower is our ability to be able to give ourselves a command and then to do it. Okay? I'm gonna say that again. It is the ability to give ourselves a command and then do it. Okay? And because of that, our willpower is always perfect. Now, whenever I dive deep into working with the mind, with people, this is one of the things where you'll hate me or you'll love me or whatever way it goes, but you will end up loving me afterwards. So your willpower is always perfect. No one can make you do a single thing. But we do have a big misunderstanding of what willpower is, okay, or what it isn't. Because a lot of people think that the willpower is for stopping smoking, to stop you eating snacks, the thing that makes you go to the gym early in the morning. People think that is willpower, which yes it is, but it's not solely that, okay? Whenever we grab for that second bar of chocolate, whenever we lift, that extra bit that on the plate, or, whatever it is that we don't want to be doing, that is still our willpower. Because you have give yourself that command and you followed through with it. Okay. So the fact that you grabbed that second bar of chocolate, or you picked up the phone and you ordered the Chinese, even though you told yourself all day you weren't going to be doing it, that is your willpower. You have give yourself a command, lift and eat the bar of chocolate, and then you followed through. Willpower. Okay? Again, very simply, you got an email from me. You clicked the Zoom link. You're in the Zoom room. That was your willpower. Okay? Willpower is not to make you not do something. Your willpower is always perfect. Sometimes it is just directed at the things deep down that we really do not want to do. But it is always perfect. There is no such thing as good willpower, bad willpower, strong willpower, weak willpower. If you really didn't want to lift that second bar of chocolate, you really wouldn't have done it. That's the bit what people hate me over saying. When I work with addictions, when I work with smokers, it's exactly the way I said to them. If you didn't want to lift a cigarette, you wouldn't. If you didn't want to snort that line, you wouldn't. If you didn't want to get blackout drunk, you wouldn't. But the fact is you did. You give yourself the order and you followed it through. Hey, no judgment. Let's just call it what it is. Okay? So when we can understand that our willpower is always perfect, and when we understand how to use our higher mental faculties, I would love to see, by the way, how many people in the room hate me for saying all that stuff. You can give me a show of hands. Do you all hate me for calling you that? Do you feel personally victimized by me? No, I hope you don't. And it's good that we've got a lot of people that know me here, so that's awesome. So once we understand the higher mental faculties, we can start to use them correctly to help us to achieve our goals, to achieve that goal of the happy, healthy body that you desire. Let's see. Using your will to actually help you to achieve those things. Because so many people seem to think, well, if I just had their willpower. Do you think I like getting up early in the morning and spending hours making PowerPoints? No, definitely not. That's not, that is my willpower. But do you think people that are disciplined is the word I'm looking for, enjoy doing those things? Absolutely not. Is it necessary? Absolutely. And that's the difference. So we have to start using our higher mental faculties in a way that is beneficial towards the advancement of our goal through setting those things up in order to be able to knock them out of the park. And whenever we are not leveraging the power of our mind, the power of our thoughts, our higher mental faculties, when we're not using those to our advantage, it's only going to work against us. So much so. And everybody here, I assume live at least, has worked with me in one way or another. And you will understand how important it is to speak to yourself. The things that you say is what will get the job done for you. Not fully, but it's a good 80% of it because of how the mind works. So what we all do when we're thinking we're doing it right, we say things like, oh, I shouldn't eat that. It's one of my favourites. How many points is that? Or many sins is that? Guess what masterclass is coming next month? The Damage Dad Clubs do. People say things like, oh, I can't have that. I shouldn't eat that. Oh my God, let's be bad. No. And the mind is only focusing on the thing that you shouldn't be doing. That's it, should be shouldn't there, sorry. And hardwiring that as part of who you are. So when you say like, oh, I shouldn't have chocolate, I shouldn't have cake, I shouldn't have ice cream, blah, 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 your mind just sees the image of cake and chocolate and ice cream and crisps. And because our brain is plastic, it's malleable, it's moldable. This is, if you imagine this little image here, I know it's probably frayed and holding on by one thread, but the way I see it is opposite. That is one thought. And see all the rest of those, they're all going to connect the more you say, I shouldn't have, I shouldn't do, I can't have, I'm not allowed, I'm trying to be good, and all of those things, all of those little synapses within the brain are going to fire together. And the more that you think those thoughts, the more the brain actually changes shape and forms those new neural pathways. And those neural pathways become ingrained in our identity, who we are as an individual. That's what comes across with this. And then every single habit of action that you have is run by a habit of thought. And before you know it, you've give yourself a habit of thought that you didn't know was counterproductive because someone else told you and someone else told them and someone else told them, and not one of those people in that funnel knew what the hell they were talking about. Okay? And I mean that in a very disrespectful way. There is nothing, sometimes ignorance is bliss. Okay? And I do not mean that in a bad way at all. You know, but one of the things that I like to say is you wouldn't go to a broke person and ask them how to make $1 million, would you? Because they don't know. You wouldn't go to an unemployed person's, and again, I don't mean these things in a disrespectful way, but you wouldn't go to an unemployed person and ask them how to build a business. Maybe you would if they were retired, you know, but you wouldn't go to an overweight person and ask them to lose weight, how to lose weight. And that's the thing. We are completely surrounded by people that are offering their opinion to us. And the mirror neuron, is that what it's called? Sorry, I've bit scrambled egg brains today and the mirror neuron will mirror the people in your life. Your mind will watch these people around you, their habits, and even though you may be looking at them thinking, oh, I won't do that, I won't do that, I won't do that, familiarity breeds contempt. That's a saying I'm sure you have all heard, which is very true. You are the average of the 5 people that you spend the most of your time with. And not only that, the things that they say will influence you as well. So if you have those friends, and that's why those fat clubs are appalling, because they're only reinforcing the fact, you know. So when people all get together and complain about being overweight and shouldn't eat that, and you're connecting, you're bonding, emotions are running high, and it doesn't have to be, oh my god, I'm emotional. It's you're feeling seen, you're feeling heard, you're feeling connected. Your basic needs as a human, once those are being met, the negative words and input is slipping straight into your mind and making so many connections, it's really messing you up. Okay? So the mind uses every single every single thing that we've been through as a frame of reference. So whenever we try to cut down on portions, slimming club food, low fat, 10%, 10 calories, no fat, all of that type of stuff, it actually causes us to overeat. Because if you imagine that your mind is like a little recording device, camcorder, and it records everything that you do. It knows what you're doing throughout the day and it archives all of that. And then your mind understands, oh, we've only had this amount of fat, this amount of carbs, this amount of so on and so forth. Because you've been eating those foods that aren't good for you. And do you ever have a day like that where you're really good all day and then you go nuts at night? Because your mind's going, uh-oh, I'm going to die here. I'm going to die if I don't get enough of this, enough of that. I need energy to get me through the day. So then what happens is you then overeat. That is not a lack of willpower at all. That is your mind doing its job correctly. But remember when I said this person told that person, told that person, and told that, and then told you that's how you lose weight. But none of those people had a clue. This is what happens. They don't understand the mind. They don't understand the mind looking at it as mental and emotional, and then also the physiology of it, neural plasticity. and how the mind actually ticks whenever we're dieting and being deprived, you know. So, sorry guys. So you need to be able to flip that switch, which is what we're going to be doing, in order to help you to flip the switch, to understand that you don't need to say those things to yourselves. You don't actually need amazing willpower in order to help you to achieve your goal. What you do need is just being able to give yourself a command and follow through. How simple, how awesome. So, share. Let's make yourselves all nice and comfortable. This is the hypnosis part for those that are going to be listening on a replay. Please don't listen to this part when you're driving or operating heavy machinery. So it's best to find a place where you can sit undisturbed comfortably for a little while. Pop your head back. And just close your eyes just as soon as you feel ready. As this wonderful hypnotic trance has many far-reaching benefits, helping you to have increased feelings of motivation and determination so that you can easily achieve the healthy, happy body that you truly deserve. Now, before we begin, I would like for you just to take a moment to get really clear, to get crystal clear on just how much weight you want to release. It could be 1 stone or 2 stone, 5 stone or 10 stone, it really does not matter. See yourself in your mind's eye at your goal weight, shape and size. And I would like to take a moment to congratulate you on taking this first step. Taking this first step towards achieving the life, the body that you deserve. Now all of those times in the past where you maybe tried to diet, or you joined diet clubs, those times were not failures, they were simply just times where you were gaining data, information and understanding. But today we are trying something new, and this something new can only give you new results. Just take a moment now and focus on the muscles in your face. Let them all soften and relax. And that's good. Just take a few deeper breaths now, and with each breath, as you exhale, just feel this calmness in your body become stronger and stronger, spreading all the way from your head down to your toes, from top to bottom, inside out and outside in, immersing you in an ocean of calmness. And that's right. And as it continues, peace and serenity are taking you over. inside and outside, thus putting your mind and body in sync with each other, creating a perfect space of peace and harmony. From now on, you don't even have to do a thing. Nobody needs you right now, and you have nowhere else to be. You don't even have to listen consciously to my words, but there will be changes, as my voice will go with you, stay with you, have a lasting impact upon you. And this deeply, deeply relaxing experience is not the same as sleep. You will not become unconscious while you relax here today. It's kind of like daydreaming, where you will still have awarenesses and be able to awaken fully. Should you need to, feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. But for now, just continue to relax in that ocean of calmness. Feeling so calm and relaxed. Feeling so warm and relaxed. And hearing me count down from 10 to 1. You can use each easy, gentle number to allow your mind to detach further, as you begin to enjoy the complete feeling of total mental and physical relaxation. Your mind may even begin to wander here and there and lose track of the progression of the numbers. But again, that's all fine. All is well with this deeply, deeply relaxing experience, where you can simply relax, to shut the world off, and to focus on your own personal well-being. 10. Giving yourself permission to relax, to go with the flow of my voice, the gentle flow of the music in the background. 9. This is the perfect place for you. The perfect place for you to let go. For you to let go of what you feel hypnosis is, what it isn't, what it should or shouldn't feel like. 8. Continuing to breathe in calmness and breathe out all anxious thoughts, feelings and behavior. 7. Any sounds inside of the room or outside of the room just fade away, enabling you to become even more attentive to the sound of my voice, because right now nothing else is as important as the sound of my voice. 6. Gently now sensing that wonderful peace of mind, body and spirit. 5. Halfway there, allowing the relaxation to double, to intensify with each easy, gentle, relaxing breath that you take. 4. Drifting dreaming, visualizing yourself as the relaxed, confident, slim and healthy person that you truly are. Dream. Your subconscious mind becomes accessible and receptive to new learnings, to new understandings, to changing old beliefs. To relaxing your mind and body together perfectly, easily, calmly. 1. Drifting deeper into your innermost mind. That part of you that remembers everything about you from the day that you were born into this life experience. And some say even before. Your subconscious mind interacts with your conscious mind, your physical body, and a higher consciousness. And today I would like to ask your unconscious mind to do its very best to work for you, guiding you, assisting and supporting you on your journey to easily release excess weight, as you're guided by and acting upon my suggestions, which will help you the most. In the past, you may have come to think of yourself as heavy or overweight, or maybe you use some other unkind words about yourself. It is important that you now change the way you think of yourself. This is as important as changing your eating habit. Some people I have worked with believe that they have no willpower to help them to achieve their goals. But what most people do not understand is that our willpower is always perfect. Sometimes it's just directed at the things deep down that we really do not want to do. But the fact we do those things shows that we have willpower. No one can make us do anything. We always have choice. So instead of using the power of our will to do those things, it can be so easy to go deep inside, to flip that switch, and allow our willpower to support us and our goals of releasing weight, eating better, being slim and healthy. So I would like for you to see, sense, or imagine the things that I'm going to say to the very best of your ability. However, do not worry if you do not see these things consciously, as your inner mind will see everything perfectly for you. Picture yourself standing on top of a tall, snow-covered mountain, looking down at the valley below. And in this valley is the place you have attempted to reach. Go further, journeying to the bottom is required, but progress towards your objective is blocked. For all along the mountainside are barriers and obstacles, and they represent everything standing between you and your goal of reaching your ideal weight. Bend down now and pick up a handful of snow. Examine this and you'll find it to be soft and powdery, comparable in a way to your own determination, which has at times lacked firmness and strength. Add more snow, packing it tightly in your hands, compressing it into a snowball which is firm, hard and round. And as you do so, feel your own assertiveness and determination becoming stronger and firmer too. As hard and as firm as the snowball being prepared for its trip down the mountain. Walk over to a very steep incline at the mountain and gently roll the snowball down the mountainside, straight at the obstacles below. Quite slowly the snowball rolls down the mountainside, growing in size as it does, until it attains the proportions of a large boulder, and then becomes an avalanche, sweeping everything before it as it continues on its journey to the bottom. Now the way is clear. All of those obstacles have been swept away, and you can begin to descend the mountainside where your courage, determination, and willpower have gone before and cleared the path. Imagine yourself striding purposefully down the mountain. You will know that in your own mind. Your determination is continuing to grow. As did the snowball, until it became sufficiently strong to sweep away every obstacle in its path. You will then be able to attain your goal of releasing weight with ease, just as easy as you hear my words and you see yourself descend the mountainside. You know, most people don't like to be told you can't or you shouldn't. And we don't like it much either when we say those things to ourselves. Have you ever noticed that when we tell ourselves, oh, I can't eat that, oh, I shouldn't eat that, that we often secretly want to rebel? But you will be pleased to find that you can talk to yourself in other ways that are much more helpful. Instead of fighting or trying to deny on an urge to eat or drink things that are bad or harmful to you, you can admit it, but then realize that cravings are very brief. They will pass in a few moments. Instead of thinking, oh, I'm dying for cheese, bread, chocolate, pasta, snacks, sweet or salty food, you can detach from the urge to eat. And you can say something like, I feel the urge to eat. I wonder what the situation or feeling is that is triggering this desire. You will realize it will pass any moment. This craving is just a signal to let me know I need to cope with this situation. And then we discover that we have the capacity to deal with our feelings directly, no longer needing to submerge feelings in food. We discover that the mouth never solved problems of the mind, but that we have the capacity with our mind to deal with our feelings directly, to allow ourselves to experience feelings of joy, feelings of sadness, boredom, anger, stress, and even happiness, discovering that we no longer need the excuse of food to take a break. We can simply choose to take a break, to rest and relax. So as you relax, so very comfortably there, allowing the sounds of my voice to wash over you. And in this wonderfully relaxed state, this is the perfect time for you to imagine. I would like for you to imagine a beautiful scene of nature, a gentle hill, and a beautiful field, a bright blue sky, the odd white fluffy cloud, and at the top of this hill there is a large ball, and in front of this ball leading down the hill, you can see the path that this ball has went on before and before and again and again. But just to the left of this pathway that this ball has carved, there's a new, large magnet. So just out of curiosity, let's push this metal ball down the path that is already formed. And as it begins to enter in the magnet's field, it starts to falter, to wobble and shake, until it's completely taken off the path it was on. It's caught in the magnet's pull. So let's mentally place the ball at the top of the hill once more. And I wonder what would be the best thing that we could do to get this ball down on its chosen path, past the magnet. We could increase its size. So allow this ball to double in size. And let's push it down its pathway. And as it enters the magnet's field, it's sturdier than before. But notice the closer it becomes to the magnet, it shakes and wobbles and becomes derailed once more. So let's place the ball at the top of the hill once more. Let's double it in size. Let's double it again and again, so that it becomes so big, you are so confident, you are so sure, you know without a doubt that the ball will make it on its journey. So let's push it down this pathway and notice what happens. The path it thought it was going to take is being dug up as the ball moves. It's forging its new lane, its new path, its new way. And it goes quicker and quicker, and it comes into the magnet's field with just a little stumble, a little wobble. But it knows it is forging its own path, and it passes the magnet easily. Barely a challenge, and makes its way to the bottom of the hill. Now I wonder what wonderful way your subconscious mind will take that on board, will use that wonderful metaphor, that story, that anecdote, to help you to achieve your goal. Now I would like for you to enjoy food. You know, and I know that you know, it's just as easy to enjoy a small portion as it is a large portion. In fact, those who eat a small portion will enjoy a small portion much, much more than you would a large portion. And you really will, because you won't even have to feel guilty about that small portion. You will be perfectly delighted with it. And as that begins to happen, every day you will find yourself better able to eat smaller portions, being naturally drawn to foods that fuel your body, and to effortlessly release excess fat, and achieve for yourself that picture of yourself that you have in your mind's eye, as you want to be, as you can and will be, making the right choices, the better choices for you. Now you will hear me count from 1 to 10, and on 10 you will open your eyes, feeling awake, feeling alert, feeling so much better than you have done before, ready to continue your journey to your new, slimmer body. 1, 2, returning from that place back to this place. 3, 4, feeling lighter and brighter. 5, 6, not knowing how we awaken, but knowing that we do each and every day. 7, 8, rising from hypnotic trance now, as you prepare to open your eyes on 9 and 10. Eyes open, wide awake. Wiggle the fingers and the toes, have a little stretch. Welcome back. Hello there. Hello. Hopefully that was nice and relaxing for yous. And this is really to help, I'm going to say, increase feelings of willpower, but after what I shared with yous already there, I hope yous understand. I don't really mean it's helping you to follow through on those commands that you're giving yourself. I'm not doing this, instead I'm doing this instead, to really help you move towards your goal. So if anyone has anything they would like to share in the chat box, work away. Because this is your time, your special time. Okie dokes, no then, that's fabulous. So what we're going to do, guys, is we're going to take a little 10-minute break, because I need a break. So we'll take a wee 10 minutes here. We'll get back to the second part of the teaching and the second hypnosis part. So what I'm going to do is pause the recording. So it's the 10-minute break isn't going to be showing up in the replay. Oh wait, hold on, that's the wrong thing I paused. Guys, welcome back to part two. I've got a lot of water there, so we might be taking another break in a minute. For someone that drinks a lot of water as is, let me tell you, I really upped it in here. This is one of the wee electrolyte thingies because I don't want to dehydrate. Those that know me know what the exact reasons as to why I'm taking extra precautions this time. So, mm, so, um, we have hit you with a lot of information there, to be totally honest with you. um, and we've still got more to go. So, you are getting great information. But remember, knowing things is very different from understanding things. And understanding things is very different from applying that to your life as well. Because that's where a lot of people will struggle. Smokers, people eating, junk food, McDonald's, things like that. And we know on a conscious level this is bad. That's knowing something. Okay? That's it only setting in the subconscious mind. Smoking's bad, drugs are bad, junk food bad, all that type of stuff. And understanding something is different. That's more in my understanding and how I look at it is, okay, so we know it consciously, and understanding it is whenever we have an emotional involvement with it, okay, that will inspire us to take that bit of action. I know cigarettes are bad. This person in my family died from cancer. That's unusually enough to get people going. There's the understanding aspect, You don't just know, you understand. There's been that emotional involvement. Maybe there's someone in your family that's developed diabetes or whatever it may be through their poor eating choices, But again, they only knew things, they maybe didn't understand things. And you don't know what you don't know at the end of the day. The fair thing to say, So, you can witness these things firsthand, which turns your knowing into understanding. And hopefully understanding is enough to make you to begin to apply those things. Sometimes what happens is we have the monster of laziness that will stop us from moving into applying. I don't know, people are probably going, yeah, willpower, that's probably why I signed up to this workshop, Sean. Fix it for me. I did about 30 minutes ago. But it's up to you to now act in alignment with that. Okay? Because I don't live in your house and I can't slap the Mars bar out of your hand every time you lift it. That's a joke I used to make quite a long time ago and someone got offended at it and I was like, well, if you pay me 10 grand, I'll go. They didn't. So, what we're doing is we are planting those seeds and we're letting the roots form. Okay? You need to water those roots each day. The seeds, sorry. You need to water those. Because this is the surface and everything is just going on underneath the surface. And if you don't water that, and you keep talking about those things that we talked about in the first part, I shouldn't harm any points, blah, blah, blah. What's going to happen is you're not going to water the seeds to get you to where you want to be. The roots are all going to grow, but it's never going to break through the surface. So you need to start feeding yourself better mental stuff, better mental energy, because believe it or not, the only thing that we have control of in our life is our thoughts. That's it. That's the only thing we have control of. We don't have control of how people view us. We don't have control of our body. The mind's doing that on its own. The only thing we have control of is our thoughts. And when we feel some type of way, we feel some type of way. Okay? What I'm trying to say there is we choose to feel that way. But Sean, they were really mean to me. Yeah, absolutely. Been there, done that, played the victim card longer than I would care to admit. Okay? Not my fault, it's circumstances. We'll get the fuck out of them. Okay? That's what we're going to do. We're going to change the circumstances. And we do that by changing the narrative. Now, I am not one of these therapists or mentors that's all about think good thoughts and good things will happen. But I do have a slide for that to prove it. Because it's me and why not, you know? So, we'll get there. So, how our mind overrides the I'm full signal. So, it comes from the beliefs that were formed when you were younger. As you've heard me say many, many times before, and I'll say it because my mum's not here, I said it in front of her once when I was doing a live group. If it's not one thing, it's your mother. And I just say it because it's funny, you know. My mum's probably my biggest cheerleader, apart from all the times we fight with each other. And anyone that knows me and my mum knows she's been at every single show, event, stage thing, group that I've done in person in Ireland for 15 years. So I'm allowed to say if it's not one thing, it's your mother. So the things that we're told when we're younger is, oh, you have to eat everything on your plate. That's one thing. You know, one of the things that you've probably heard before is, oh, I'm not made of money. Eat everything. Dinner time is family time. Or the one that throws a slice of bread down on top of a full dinner. The bread will help fill you up, signaling to your mind that the meal alone is not enough for you. And my absolute favourite one of them all, there's babies starving in Africa, you better eat all that. I'm nothing against starving people in any country, and I have to make that very clear because sometimes I forget I'm a Libra and I'm very blunt. But what the hell has me got to do with throwing a few scraps of food away? What's that? What's that? That's literally what my brain does. You know, there's babies starving in Africa, so I have to overeat. And then I ended up 6.5, maybe 7 stone fat. Okay? But these little things, where you have to eat that, we're not made of money. At dinner time's family time. Wonderful, wonderful ways to encourage people to eat. However, we have to understand that we're talking to little people. We're talking to kids, the little ones. And those ones don't really have the understanding. Well, to be fair, some kids I've met are smarter than some grown-ups, and I'm sure you can agree with that as well. But as children, we don't really have the understanding to go, oh, this is just a metaphor, this is just something that's being said to me. As kids, we cannot help but think concretely. And that means to think literally. And then those things that we hear from our mum, our dad, our grandparents, our teachers, whatever it may be, because we have them in positions of authority, we look up to them, we tend to accept the things that they say much, much more easier than it is to program ourselves as an adult, believe it or not. Neuroplasticity is still a thing, but the mind, the brain, is much more malleable when we're younger. Listen to me. Sound like I know stuff, don't I? I do. Maybe my friends are right when they're saying that I'm smart. So, on our minds, do not judge what is good or bad. Okay? It simply accepts what we tell it with emotion behind it. And then we begin to act accordingly. Alright? It is just the way that it is. The identity of who we are is what will show up in our world. Because we can never outperform our self-image. Our self-image will always course correct and bring us back to what we know and to those things that we have always done. Because it doesn't judge that, takeaway food as bad. Not that it is, but you understand, takeaway processed food, it is much more damaging to the body than a fresh healthy steak or a bit of chicken from the butchers. Okay, so, I hate to call food good and bad, but at the end of the day, some is more damaging than the other. And whenever we are constantly eating those KFCs for lunch and we're doing this and doing that and we decide, oh, I'm going to lose some weight here, we've spent so much time identifying as someone that is fat, someone that is overweight, and that's why diets aren't sustainable. Because we're trying to look at the outside to fix an inside problem. Now, is the food that we eat making us fat? Yeah. But it's also the thought and the belief and the energy behind why we're grabbing that food in the first place. So whenever we just try to solely change the food, it doesn't work. Maybe we'll get a little bit, and then we'll put it all back on again, and then some. And those people, those small percentage of people that you see that go to the gym, that work out, there is one thing that they will completely say to you. It's a lifestyle change. Okay? Because all of those results are not sustainable without completely changing your life. The calorie counting, the weighing of the food, the this, the that, the tracking of this, the tracking of that, having to hit so many steps and workouts. That's the lifestyle change. Okay? And nothing with that. I love gym people. I've worked with bodybuilders, powerlifters. I consider myself a bit of an amateur powerlifter myself. So it's nothing against that. But I want you to understand the wording that these people use. Lifestyle change. Now, I'm not trying to sell you lifestyle change with no work and no effort involved. That's not what I'm doing. It's not like some snake oil, oh, listen to this and you'll be skinny. There will be changes that will happen, but we're looking at the change on the inside. First of all, we're developing a new self-image. I work with so many bodybuilders, so many gym people that have said to me, like, I look in the mirror and I still see a fat person looking back at me. Of course you do. Of course you do. Because what you're doing is you're looking at the outside to fix the internal. And your GPS, your internal GPS, will always take you back to what you know. So you got to change the self-images of who you are. And that's something that we do really, really intensely in one-to-one work as well. It's easy done. There's loads of different ways to do it. Like thinking good thoughts, which spurred me to remind me about, that's actually part of the presentation. Your reticular activating system, your RAS, is the part of the brain that filters the world around you based on the beliefs you hold and the identity that you carry. However, this can be changed, reset, and upgraded. So your RAS is what filters the world. Okay? And that's why changing your thoughts will completely change your life. In fact, I would like you to do an experiment that is nothing really to do with weight loss. But it's the red car experiment. Okay? I want you to constantly think about a red car for the next 3 days, and you will begin to notice how many red cars you see. You will actually be aware of that. And that is the proof of the RAS. That the beliefs that we have, the identity that we hold, will look for those things. You think fat, you will become fat. You think thin, you will become thin. You think, oh, poor me, I'm a victim, God love me, what's going to happen? You're going to notice more ways to be poor me, I'm a victim. If you think I'm not good enough, well, what's going to happen? You're going to take everything as criticism. If you think I'm good enough, I am more than enough, what's going to happen to you? Everything's going to be water off a duck's back. If you think that you're broke, what's going to happen? You're going to stay broke. If you think like you're rich, you're going to get rich. Now, That's not me saying you sit on your backside and nothing happens. Okay? You need to then take action on the new things that you're saying. But I wanted to touch on the RIS just a little bit with you, just before or just during this workshop, just so you understand, like, this is all the shit that goes on in my head whenever I'm working with clients. I'm not just someone going, oh, you're getting very sleepy, very relaxed. I do spend a lot of time understanding what it is that we're doing. Now, are these things that I work to clients in such ways? Not unless they're interested. You probably weren't interested either, but just so you know, no refunds. Um, so, let me see. Hypnosis session. God, we're really flying through this. Awesome. I am going to need a bathroom break, guys, before we do the next hypnosis. I think I've drunk like 4 glasses of water in those 10 minutes there, those 10-minute breaks that we had. If you have any questions, we'll have a part after the hypnosis. Don't worry, time put aside for the question part. So let me just pause the recording and I'll be back in touch. There we go. Where that cat of mine? Well, it's not my cat, it's Diego's cat. I've just adopted it, or it's adopted me, should I say. I swear it just said no to me. It was meowing at me, and I was like, would you shut up? And I swear it said no. Honestly. But okay. So we're going to do our next hypnosis session. We're getting a double dunter of the hypnosis in this workshop. So I think we're right on time. That's good. So go ahead and make yourselves all nice and comfortable. Yeah, recorded. Just put your head back. Just close your eyes just as soon as you feel ready. And just take a moment just to focus on the gentle rise and fall of your chest. The gentle rise and fall that will continue to happen all throughout this deeply, deeply relaxing experience. As this wonderful hypnotic trance has many far-reaching benefits, helping you to take further control of the size of the food that you eat, reducing your portions easily, effortlessly and naturally, so that you can easily achieve your weight loss goals. Now, before we begin, I would like for you just to take a moment and to think about what you would really love, the life you want to live, perfect health, contentment, everlasting happiness, your perfect life, perfect for you. And just take a moment now and focus on the muscles in your face. Let them all soften and relax. That's good. Just take a few deeper breaths now, and with each breath, as you exhale, and just feel this calmness in your body become stronger and stronger, spreading all the way from your head down to your toes, from top to bottom, inside out and outside in, immersing you in an ocean of calm. And as it continues, peace and serenity are taking you over, inside and outside, thus putting your mind and body in sync with each other, creating a perfect space of peace and harmony. From now on, you don't even have to do a thing. Nobody needs you right now, and you have nowhere else to be. You don't even have to listen consciously to my words, but there will be changes. As my voice will go with you, stay with you, have a lasting impact upon you. And this deeply relaxing experience is not the same as sleep. You will not become unconscious while you relax here today. It's kind of like daydreaming, where you will still have awarenesses and be able to awaken fully should you need to. Feeling refreshed and rejuvenated. But for now, just continue to relax in that ocean of calmness. Feeling so calm and relaxed. Feeling so warm and relaxed. And hearing me count down from 10 to 1, you can use each gentle number to allow your mind to detach further, along with your awareness, as you continue to breathe in peace and breathe out all cares and concerns. Because this is your time, your special time. Nobody wanting anything, nobody expecting anything. Your special time to simply shut the world off and focus on your own personal well-being. 10. Giving yourself permission to relax, to go with the flow of my voice, the gentle flow of the music in the background. 9. This is the perfect place for you to let go. For you to let go of what you feel hypnosis is, what it isn't, what it should or shouldn't feel like. 8. Continuing to breathe in calmness and breathe out all anxious thoughts, feelings and behaviors. 7. Any sounds inside of the room or outside of the room just fade away, enabling you to become even more attentive to the sound of my voice, because right now nothing else is as important as the sound of my voice. 6. Gently now sensing that wonderful peace of mind, body and spirit. 5. Halfway there, allowing the relaxation to double, to intensify with each easy, gentle, relaxing breath that you take. 4. Drifting, dreaming, visualizing yourself as the relaxed, confident, slim and healthy person that you truly are. 3. Drifting deeper still, allowing your subconscious mind to become accessible, receptive to new learnings, to new understanding, to changing old beliefs. to relaxing your mind and body together easily, perfectly, calmly. One drifting into a wonderful healing level where you can relax, let go and focus on your own personal well-being. Your subconscious mind interacts with your conscious mind and physical body. And it also has the power to influence your conscious mind and physical body. Today I would like to ask your unconscious mind to do its very best to work for you, guiding you, assisting and supporting you on your journey to release excess weight by taking control of your portions, of the foods that you eat, as you're guided by and acting upon my suggestions, which will help you the most. I'm going to be talking to you about something that maybe has been concerning you recently, and that is the amount of food that you sometimes eat from your plate. You have decided that you'd like to release some weight, and you realize that to help you do that, you wish to learn to enjoy eating smaller portions of food at mealtimes. And it's because you really want to achieve your goal of having a slimmer and healthier body that you have decided that you really need to cut down on the amount of food that you eat. Now I know that we all enjoy food, and it's not always easy to know when to stop eating, especially when having a really good meal. In the past, it was as though you felt that you needed large portions in order to feel more satisfied. Perhaps you didn't realize just how large your portions actually were. Because you never really compared them to that of others. And this hypnotic experience is going to help you to experience a far greater sense of comfort and satisfaction from eating less. That's right. As you eat smaller portions of food, you will gradually release weight. And with the loss of excess fat on your body, you can move more freely and feel more comfortable in smaller sized clothes. The pressure on your joints eases, and this will help you to move your body in ways that you were never previously able to do. There are so many benefits to eating smaller portions. It's more economical as well. And you already know that you don't need larger plates of food, which is why you are here today. Overeating is just an undesirable pattern that you were drawn into. And with the help of hypnosis and your wonderful subconscious mind, you can discover the pleasures of creating a more beneficial habit and exploring the texture and taste of your food with smaller, more manageable portions. In most of the Western world, people are accustomed to eating far more than they really need. And the excess food turns into fat and flour. And to demonstrate this fact, I want you to think of a newborn baby. Most babies begin their lives on milk and gradually progress onto pureed food and solids. But the amount that they take in is usually sufficient for them to grow into healthy children and adults. And as you know, a baby's stomach is much, much smaller than ours. But the more that it eats, the bigger the stomach becomes. And the bigger the stomach becomes, the more they want to eat. And of course, if we were to reverse this process, then the less that we eat, the smaller that our stomach would become. Now you're not going to revert to eating the same as a baby. That would be silly. But what we can do in hypnosis is to use your powerful subconscious mind to create a link back to a time when you didn't want or need such large portions of food. So allow your mind to drift gently back in time, back to your earlier years when you ate much less than you do now, and go back to a time when your stomach was smaller. Just drift back in years when you ate so much less than what you do now. And go back in time to that time when your stomach was smaller. Your meals were served on plates that were much smaller. You listened to your body and you stopped when you'd had enough to eat. And I'll be quiet for a moment or two as you allow your mind to recall this time in your life when your stomach was smaller, a time when a small plate of food was more than enough for you. That's good. Now I want you to link and connect, link and connect back to that time when you were more satisfied with smaller amounts of food. Perhaps you would push away your plate, knowing that you'd had enough to eat, and you really didn't want any more. Connect back to that time and link it to your present, to the person that you are now. Your stomach is shrinking, it's becoming smaller and smaller. Your stomach is shrinking and shrinking and shrinking, just like a balloon that slowly deflates as it gradually loses air. And in your imagination, shrink your stomach down to the size of a tennis ball. And I'll be quiet for a moment or two whilst you feel your stomach shrinking to the size of a tennis ball. Make it so that you can hold it in your hand. It is a very small stomach and gets food on a very small portion of food. Good. Now locate that tennis ball sized stomach in your body. Experience it now and know that it can hold just the right amount of food for you. to feel satisfied and full. Just the right amount of food to help you to lose weight. Now imagine yourself at your regular meal time. Notice anyone who is with you. See where you are. Experience the aroma, the color, the texture, and the look of the healthy food that is being served to you. And as you look at your meal, you are thinking, will I be able to eat all of that? There is more than enough food for you. So you pick up your knife and fork and begin to cut your food into very small pieces, chewing each piece slowly and thoroughly when it goes into your mouth. As you chew your food slowly, you are surprised to discover the texture and taste improve. This gives your taste buds a chance to savor each and every mouthful. And even before you finish your meal, your subconscious mind tells you that you are already full. And so you stop eating. Your stomach is the size of a tennis ball. It has shrunk, and it fits snugly inside your body. There is no protruding belly fat hanging over your jeans. Your body is leaner, your tummy is flatter and firmer. And you are eating much less food and feeling much more satisfied than you ever thought possible. And if you find yourself eating in company, you find yourself looking around at what other people are doing, and you notice that they are stuffing food into their bodies. But this does not bother you, because you find that you are totally fine. You do not have any feelings of being deprived. You are completely without any feelings of going without. You have had enough, so you stop eating. And as a direct result of this, you feel better and happier and healthy and fitter. And you find that you have more energy than you might have imagined. In fact, you are like a child who is eager and ready to play. From now on, you eat to live. And before you have filled that tennis ball-sized stomach of yours, you are already full. You really don't want any more. You go from one meal to the next without even thinking about food. You find that you need very small amounts of healthy, nutritious food. Low fat, low calorie, 0%. Your body does not need these. All you need is very small amounts of healthy, nutritious food. And of course, the less you eat, the smaller your stomach becomes. It really is shrinking every day, little by little. You find that the weight is dropping away, it's melting away, it's fading away. And this makes you feel so good. It's as though your body is going through a detox. It's so badly needed. smaller portions feel so much better too. And the nice thing is that they satisfy you completely. Now I would like your subconscious mind to reinforce every positive suggestion it has ever heard me utter, so that you may return from that place back to this place with a deeper understanding of your innermost working. As in a moment I'm going to count from 1 to 10, and on 10 your eyes will open, feeling awake, feeling alert, feeling so much better than you have done before. 1, 2, returning from that place back to this place. 3, 4, feeling lighter and brighter. 5, 6, not knowing how we awaken, but knowing that we do each and every day. 7, 8, rising from hypnotic trance now, as you prepare to open your eyes on 9 and 10. Eyes open, wide awake. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, have a little stretch, a drink of water. Hello there, welcome back. So, how was your experience? Feel free to share in the chat box. While I actually run and top up my water, that would be a good idea, wouldn't it? Give me a minute. Back again. Connected. Really resonated, lovely, awesome, so relaxing. I always get so sleepy when listening to the audios. Good, it's fine, take it as a little hypnotic rest, because that is exactly what it is. It's a deep rest to allow your mind to do its thing, and your results already show that. And so just enjoy the relaxation. So before we move on to the Q&A portion, um, I want to talk a little bit about my hypnotic gastric band. Some of you have done it, some of you are doing it, some of you are about to do it. This year I have changed my hypnotic gastric band program ever so slightly. I've introduced different tiers that are available, different levels of support that are available for people. And, the core thing is the same. Like, if you've done it, you'll notice the differences in the different things that are there. And that just comes with the evolution of my work and the evolution of me as a business person as well, not just a therapist. Like, what else can I bring? And how else can I help? And it's been very successful so far. We've had like over 40 people in January go through hypnotic gastric bands in one variation. And they did promise myself I'm going to stop discounting it's to £197 because it is worth far, far, far so much more. So I always want to give a little bit back as well. The people that maybe can't afford, or it's not within their budgets. I hate the word not afford. It's maybe not within their budget. So you can check out the hypnotic gastric band, and maybe for this weekend, what we're on Friday today, aren't we? Maybe like tomorrow, because I can't get any emails out to you tonight. If you want to sign up to the hypnotic gastric band, I will discount what you paid for this workshop. It sounds fair, doesn't it? Doesn't matter what level of what tier it is that you want to go in on. We'll discount whatever that is. So I'll send links and stuff for that. Hypnotic gastric band, it is on my website anyway if you want to go and have a look. The program. So now we are on Q&A time. It's probably a good thing we've only a couple of people in the live room. So show me your hands if you got a question you would like to ask, because this is your time now. Jane, was that you? Yeah. Sorry, I didn't say I was grabbing my water. You can go ahead and unmute, Jane. It should be coming up for you. And then we'll come to Anne next for a question.
That's better.
So, hit me with it, Jane.
You talk about when you tell yourself you will not succumb to say that slice of bread with thick butter, but although you've said you won't, all of a sudden you're having it, despite the fact that you're dairy and wheat intolerant, and you know you're going to feel absolutely awful.
Yeah. So what happens there is, again, that is still your willpower being perfect. Okay? So your willpower is perfect because no one can make you have that bit of bread unless you don't want it. Okay? That's the harsh reality of it. You've made yourself get up and butter that bread. No one made you do that. Okay?
No.
Yeah. It's not an all of a sudden thing. You've had that thought, let's go do this. So what we need to do is we need to change that identity of that person. Okay? So there could be so many different things in and around that. Is there a secondary gain of you eating those things that you know you're intolerant to? Does it help you in one way or another? Does it maybe having that reaction in your body, does it get you out of doing something? Does it get you a bit of attention? There's so many different things that your mind could associate with that we're not even aware of because we've developed these things in childhood. Okay? A lot of my clients will say, no, it couldn't be that, it couldn't be that. You really have no idea. Honestly, secondary gain is very, very common in things that we do, especially whenever we know that thing that we're doing is damaging our body. Okay? So, it's a big, big, big topic, Jane. So, we play different roles in life. The caregiver, the rebel, the rule breaker, the sick one, and the brilliant one. That's usually the four roles that we play. And one of those roles, the sick one, learns that whenever the body isn't functioning well, that we get attention. Okay? So that's why I always go to what is the secondary gain. Because we've seen someone somewhere that has been sick that has got attention. We have seen someone somewhere that has been sick that has got out of doing something. Okay? Now, that mightn't be something that you can recall right here, right now. Okay? Because if you could recall it, that's not the problem. Because it's deep in the subconscious mind. Because I can see your eyes trying to think of something there. What is it? What is it? What is it? If you knew what it was, the problem wouldn't affect you. Okay? If you knew on a conscious level, it would not be affecting you. You would not be doing that. Okay? That's the part you're going to have to trust in me. If people already knew the reason as to why they done things, they would stop doing them. The fact is, it's our programming onto the surface that we developed as a child. And unless you've got identity... Yeah.
I just don't understand me. I don't understand what's going on in my head. You know, obviously I've taken on what you've said.
Yeah.
And it's so frustrating.
It is. Yeah. It absolutely is. It absolutely is. But if you can do those things, you can reprogram and recondition yourself to not do those things. It's cause and effect. You've heard me talk about that before, Jane.
Yeah.
The energy that you put in, you can get equal or greater on the other side. But you got so used to doing that habit that you're going to continue to do it until you rewire and go choose something else, choose something different. And it doesn't have to be food. It can be the thought, the belief. But the understanding needs to come from what gain, what benefit is this?
There isn't.
No, your mind believes there is, otherwise it wouldn't do it. That's what I'm trying to say. You cannot understand what the benefit is because it's subconscious. We cannot consciously think in our subconscious mind. Okay? You're never going to figure it out. You probably could if you're journaling and let the subconscious mind kick in that way. But you're not going to sit and think about it right logically. It's emotions that we're dealing with. So there is some form of benefit that is being made from that habit. Every single habit that we do.
You've talked about journaling.
Mm-hmm.
And that is something I find very, very difficult to write down all my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I find it very difficult. I guess, and the reason I think it is, rightly or wrongly, I don't want to reveal those things.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, that
I don't
absolutely could.
understand it.
Yeah, that absolutely could be a reason as to what you're consciously not doing. But don't forget, Jean, we're not dealing with just the conscious mind.
No, I know. It's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but the thing is, and as I've said this already, if you knew it, or if you knew what the answer was, the habit wouldn't be affecting you the way that it does. Once
no.
something is brought to the light of conscious awareness, it can never affect you the same way again. So that's a little bit of self-sabotage. I'm just going to call it out because it's you and we're working together. That's a little bit
It
of a
is.
self-sabotage. Yeah. You're going, I'm
Yeah.
afraid of what it is, but also what it is the fucking key to get you free. Sorry, I'm getting really passionate about this, but it's everything that you want is beyond that.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But the habit itself, it's irrelevant. It's the emotion that lies underneath it. Okay? Even though you know that you're intolerant to those things. We'll do a little bit of work on that. I don't do an awful lot of regression work anymore, but we'll do a little bit of timeline work at some stage and see what
Well, I'm
comes up.
working with you anyway.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
working with
So we'll
you.
do that. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But it's an interesting thing, Jane, and good question because it's never the habit, it's the emotion below it.
Yeah.
Okay? And when you try to
Uh,
fix the habit of the bread and the butter, you're only putting a plaster over it. You need to go deep and extract. And we can never figure it out consciously. Okay?
Thank you for
But
explaining.
we'll sort it out. Don't worry. Thank you. So we'll hop over to Anne. I'm the same, Jane. I'm the same. Don't worry. And do you have a question as well?
It's right. Ash Wednesday was in Wednesday.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
It'd be weird if it was on a Friday, wouldn't it?
yeah. Well, this is what I don't understand about myself.
Mm-hmm.
During Lent, I would never dream of touching ice cream. You know, that's
Mm-hmm.
my big thing. I just would
Yeah.
never dream. I do 6 weeks of Lent, never have a bit. I do the month of November for the Holy Souls, never have a bit. Yet, you were talking about willpower.
Mm-hmm.
I always thought willpower was something, people say, oh, you've got great willpower. It's nothing to do with willpower. It's because it's something I want to be able to prove to myself.
Yeah. So
that I can do it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
why, when the minute Easter Sunday comes, would I cut your hand off for ice cream?
Okay. So now do you understand the
But I
difference
would,
between the difference in
yeah,
willpower from what people think it is to what it actually is?
what it is,
Yeah. So the reason as to why that is, it's because you've told yourself on this day I can do this. It's simple. On Easter Sunday, I can have ice cream.
So I need to say,
If you can do it for 40 days, you can do it for 41. You can do it for
I
41, you
know,
can do it for 45, you can do it for 50. But remember, you don't need to deprive yourself of everything.
uh-huh, I
Okay?
know, just a
Get
little
yourself
bit.
back to that place to where you were, where it was enjoyable for you. That little bit
Yeah,
was enjoyable.
yeah,
Okay?
I
But
know.
that should demonstrate to you, Anne, at the very least, that, you know, your willpower is great.
Hmm.
Okay?
It's strange how,
If you can go 40 days,
mhm,
you will be able to stop completely.
I know.
You don't have to tell yourself that differently. You know, there's a saying that it takes 21 days to break a habit. That's bullshit. Nonsense. It is.
66 years and we've not broke the habit yet.
Yeah. It can take 21 days to install a new habit, and that's only installing it.
All right.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it can take much, much longer than that for it to become permanent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where people got this 21 days. I mean, you can kind of
No,
install it in about 10 days, to be honest. You know, but no, 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 no. No, 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 no,
no.
no. It's
I need
very
to
for each person.
change my thinking. What I need to say, maybe if I want it on Easter Sunday, I can have it.
Yeah. Uh-huh. And you can look at it and say, I'm going to have you in 5 minutes. That would be a
Yeah.
really good thing for you to do. And then
Uh-huh.
5 minutes later, give yourself another 5 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm?
And Jean, can I just, if you don't mind me saying to you, you were saying that you don't want to write your thoughts down. Is it because you don't want other people to read them? No, it's nothing to do with it. I was
Yeah.
in a, as Sean could tell you, I was in a very similar situation to yourself. And I used to write down what I was thinking, but then I would burn it with a candle. You know, I would, the wee tea lights, I would then burn that and offer it up to whatever.
Yeah.
And I found getting rid of
Thoughts.
the bad thoughts
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
helped me.
It does, absolutely. It really, really does. And thank you for sharing that, Anne, very much, because, you know, hearing it can help inspire others, you know, but
Well,
I'll be
you,
kicking off in our next session to find out why this is going on, don't you, alright?
but you know yourself, Sean, what I go through,
Yes,
you know,
absolutely. I know.
and it's
So
just
thank you.
sometimes if you see somebody else, it's worse. I think it's worse for me watching somebody else going through it
Yeah,
than it happened
yeah.
to me.
Especially when I know it's why I sometimes turn into a wee bit of a recluse because I've been there, I've done it. And then whenever I
Mm-hmm.
see people struggle in whatever way it is, it's like I can't deal because I know that we're capable of so much more. But
Uh-huh.
at the end of the day, we can only open the door. It's up for people to walk through it. And I
I
think
know.
that's a good note to leave it on because if I haven't sounded so philosophical my whole life, plus I need to be again.
I know.
Guys,
Well, that
I
was fabulous.
I'm so glad you enjoyed. Um, I will get the email to you tomorrow. You know to reach out to me, although I've very, very limited access at the minute while I'm here because I'm still sorting out phones and blah, blah, blah. But, you know, always hit me up, Facebook, email, all that type of stuff. And I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can. Good night. Because it's night time for you guys there. It's only 6 in the evening for me now. And I will see you all very, very soon. Ciao.